Hi, I'm Kevin Hazelton, Area Director of Young Life Shoreline. You're about to hear from some of the kids in our community and how Young Life has touched their lives. You're also going to hear from a couple parents who have a real heart for the ministry that we're doing to kids in our community. I hope that as you watch this video, you get a sense of why the work that we're doing is so necessary.
I think one of the difficulties of being a teenager is not necessarily knowing what's right and wrong, but sometimes acting on it. So a lot of times people do things that they're a little iffy about, but they see other people do it and it happens anyways.
Pressures with partying and having sex and just things that obviously shouldn't be done but just seem so normal because everyone makes it that way.
The amount of information that's being sent, who's doing this, who's doing that, you're getting so wrapped up in everyone else's life besides yours.
Some things about that are difficult being a teenager today, I would say probably just as you're getting older, figuring out what your own values are.
Everything, you have to keep up on everything that you're plugged into.
I see a lot of my friends struggling with decisions that they know is going to impact their life in the long run.
Constant feeling of needing to do well, and like sometimes you feel yourself trying to succeed for other people instead of for what you want to do.
They need to care more about themselves, about more than just what other people think of them, because they're starting to care more about what other people think of them.
One of the biggest lies out there today is that physical beauty is way more important than anything else.
Stuck in between being kids and being adults, so it can be very difficult to figure out where we belong.
I think some adults don't want to believe that their children do these bad things, even though a lot of people at our school do.
It's really up to the kid, but it just depends on who you're with and who you're hanging out with. But if you're hanging out with kind of the wrong crowd, it's a little bit easier for you to get kind of trapped into that stuff. And so it really just depends on who you hang out with and who your close friends are.
Young Life for me, I just feel like it's this really big family when I first come to club on Mondays.
I'm really happy and excited because a lot of the people there are close friends of mine and people that I've built good relationships with through Young Life. And it just makes me excited to see other people enjoying themselves.
Love and just everyone there just seems open and everyone's accepting of you, and it's basically like breaking the barriers of high school with all the social cliques and everything. It's just that everyone can be friends, everyone can have a good time together, and it's just like a big party on a Monday night.
Everyone's accepted, and everyone's personality is looked at, and people are finding the good in everyone, and that's just not common in high school. And so when you walk in the room, that's like the first thing that hits you, and it's like just makes you so happy.
The first feeling that you get when you enter Young Life room is definitely just getting pumped. You get excited. It's the place that you want to be. It's the place that you just feel comfortable.
One time where on a school night where you don't even have to think about being stressed out or anything.
The environment's great. We all have fun. There's always people laughing, and the activities we do doesn't have to be doing drugs or partying. It's just a nice, safe environment, and we all enjoy being there.
I wouldn't be friends with so many people if I hadn't gone to Young Life, because it brings together such this diverse group of people that you would never know would talk to each other until you see them under one roof.
Nothing but love. You just get the feeling of all of the pressures of everyday life going away, and you step into the feeling of a gigantic family.
First, coming to a Young Life Club, I'm usually very excited and happy to be there. And it's cool because I get to see all my friends and everyone's saying hi and stuff, and I don't know, it's just great because at school you're kind of divided between clicky, it's sort of clicky and stuff, but at Young Life everyone's just together and having a good time.
I love Young Life leaders. I think they are the most awesome people in the world, and because they're people that work full-time, people that have families, people that have jobs, and yet they're giving time every week to our kids because they love kids and because they want to share Christ with them. And I think that is what makes Young Life so awesome, is our Young Life leaders.
I really like my Young Life leader, Mary. She's really nice and friendly, and she knows what she's doing, and she knows how to teach us about God, and I really look up to her because she's a great person and she has a great personality, and I know that I can trust her with a lot of things.
Lisa has changed my life in the way that she's shown me just that God has a plan and that I need to take just all my pressure, and because I put a lot of pressure on myself and I see what Lisa does is she just helps me put all my anxiety on God and just help me pray about it and just know that everything's in God's hands and it's going to be okay.
I think a major reason why I look up to Lisa is just she's just like, I see Jesus in her more than anyone else in my life.
Shows them how great they are and gives them advice and tells them the truth about their life and what God is telling her to tell them, and that's ended up helping my life tremendously. So
my Young Life leader, Lisa, has helped me grow a bigger relationship with Jesus because she's someone that I just look up to. Her faith that I see from her is just so strong.
Young men and women at Young Life that are there to help my kid through high school. It's like, I couldn't pay for that, you know? It's like so awesome. So thank you, Young Life leaders.
I'm a wildlife student leader because I had a really rough middle school year, 2 years, and it's so important for me to have, for middle schoolers to have just like a high school mentor and just someone that they can go to about things, because I know when I was in middle school I didn't want to go to my parents about things, and so I would maybe go to a friend who didn't necessarily have the best outlook on something, but I would still try to take their advice. Whereas if they have a wildlife leader, they have someone whose heart is in a good place and looks out for them.
Young Life leaders are very important to our kids today. They give them a soundboard, if you will. They're someone that will listen, somebody that will help, somebody that will give them encouragement, empowerment to do the things that they need to do. And these Young Life leaders are helping with homework, they're going to sporting events, and it's amazing what kind of relationship they're creating with our kids.
The Young Life leaders, what I love about them is that you can be yourself around them, and it's just, you don't just talk about Jesus with them. For example, my short course Young Life leader, I can play basketball with him, I can have a bonding moments, I can bond with them at moments, and it's just not a relationship that's just like any normal relationship. It goes deep.
One of my Young Life leaders, her name is Meg, has been she's changed my life. Through her, I see Jesus, and she's just a leading example for me what it's like to have a relationship with Christ, and even she tells me how much of a struggle it is, but she knows it's for the best, and to sing her, to have her as an example is great. She's been with me for 2 years, and I couldn't have asked for a better Young Life leader.
And then through Young Life, I found out what it meant to walk with God, and I started doing things because I enjoyed them. Like I started going to campaigners, and I started going to church on Sundays because Young Life introduced me, and I found that I did enjoy it, and it's something that I want.
Over the last summer, when I went to Malibu, that really just changed my life. It changed how I look at my life and just who I am as a person.
Young Life has changed my life personally, and I would just love for everyone at my school to see the true life that you can get. Like, the feeling you have there is really unlike any feeling that you can get from anything, and that's the lies that are told at high school, that you can get that feelings from other things, but being in that place with God, you just realize that He's all that matters, and Young Life just brings you back to that and reminds you throughout the stresses of high school just how God can be there and make everything just so much better.
There's someone guiding me along, and there's a destination. There's something why I'm living and what I'm trying to go to. Yeah.
Young Life is so important to me because it's been the foundation for my relationship with Jesus, and a relationship that will last me for like the rest of my life and beyond that.
More people should be involved in Young Life, and I think just because it's a great way to meet a lot of people and like find a relationship with God that's with a lot of people in a similar situation. A lot of people just finding out, like starting out from the beginning of the walk with God, it's easier to do it with people around you that care about you.
school. It showed me the importance of having a relationship with Jesus. I never really understood before that, but it really showed me how important it is to have a strong community and be with your friends and learn about God with other people and not just by yourself, because it's a lot easier that way.
I feel like Young Life has made Jesus relevant to teenagers by having someone there for you. You know, if you feel alone sometimes, it's like this guy is there for you. This guy believes in you, kind of thing. You always have someone to turn to, and you know, if things are going, you know, you're just having a crummy week, and it's you know, Jesus is there. He's watching out for you. He's there with you, and you know, just keep trying, keep believing, and kind of, you know, things will work out if you just keep going with it.
Young Life has made Jesus relevant to teenagers by expressing how we go through our daily lives, and it has affected us by pressuring us not to just go through life, but to live life to the fullest.
They need a hope. They need Jesus, and that's what Young Life brings to the table, is a better understanding of who Jesus is.
People taught me it was okay to be myself and brought out the best in me. I've never been the same, and I think that's something that everyone in my high school needs to experience, because so many people think they're not enough, and Young Life has really taught me that everyone is enough if they find Jesus in themselves.
It kind of like helped me like find God in a more personal way.
All we do is laugh together, have good times, learn about Jesus, and it'll benefit everybody.
I think Young Life is very necessary in our community, because I kind of feel like it fills a little gap that sometimes maybe other ministries might not hit. So like Christians go to church, they go to the youth group, but I think Young Life is really unique in our community, and that it will go to where the kids are. The leaders go to the sporting events, they go to school, just to kind of build a relationship with the kids. And those may be church kids, but they're probably more often than not church kids. And so I really feel like it's a unique ministry, and that we're really lucky to have it in Shoreline.
As you've seen, the work of Young Life in this community is not only reaching kids, but it's changing their lives. I hope you know how crucial your support is to the work that we're doing, and I can't thank you enough for your partnership.